YouTube stacking community, the Stacking Nerd here today with a video about how you can turn this into this. Wherever you're watching this from and whenever you're watching this, I hope that you're having a great day. The gold to silver ratio represents the number of ounces of silver it takes to equal 1 ounce of gold. Now today is the 9th of February 2019 and the ratio is 83 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. In 2007 the ratio was 51. Now back in 1991 when silver hit record lows the ratio was 100, and back in 1980 the ratio was only 17. Is it possible to trade your silver for gold? Well, absolutely. However, you have to pick the right time and the trade can be difficult. And as you know, there are many geopolitical factors that can affect spot price, the narrowing or widening of the ratio. And I don't believe trading up is something to be taken lightly. It requires proper planning, strategy to find the optimal time to trade up your silver. Last summer, Karl Ushanka reached out to me and asked me to write a section in his book on how to find deals on bullion. And as you guys know, I do the Daily Deals series on my channel here, helping you guys find the lowest possible premiums on bullion. And he also reached out to Losing Louie, who wrote a fantastic section about his experience collecting, what to look for, selling, and what he's learned. It's definitely worth a read. Now, Karl has released his second edition of Trade the Ratio. It's targeted at stackers and people new to precious metals. If you're not familiar with Karl, he is an author, blogger of precious metals investment advice. He takes it one step further and provides statistical analysis and various scenarios that affect investment strategies. I will leave a link to his YouTube channel and his website in the description down below. I'd also like to point out that Karl is not an investment professional. Instead, his strategies are based on historical data and personal experience. And because of that, I find this book very easy to read and quite enjoyable because you're getting advice from one of our own. Here is the book. It's available in both paperback and Kindle versions. Paperback is $15.66 and the Kindle version is $9.99. If you do order the paperback, you can purchase the Kindle version for 99 cents. In case you don't know, Kindle is an application that you can actually download on your iPhone, iPad, or Android device. But for me personally, I actually like having a physical copy of a book when I'm trying to read it. Karl was kind enough to send me a physical copy of the book. It's a nice paperback. Let's take a look inside. It's dedicated, if you can see that, for the stackers. We flip it over. Here's basically what's in the book, the old reasons for precious metals, and he goes into great detail in the history of precious metals, several new, controversial yet compelling reasons for owning precious metals, the author's many lessons learned with buying, storing, selling, and shipping precious metals, a review of the silver to gold ratio with specific ratio trading do's and don'ts, 5 ratio trading investment scenarios with current market data and step-by-step explanations, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, and guest contributions on the topics of collecting and bargain hunting from YouTube superstars, Losing Louie, and the Stacking Nerd. Here's what I learned from reading the book. First, I should start a swear jar and use all of the money in that jar towards precious metals, because I promise you I will fill that up fast. I'm just kidding, but that is something that Karl actually did, and I found that pretty humorous. He did that after the 2008 election, which was probably the best time to do so. But seriously, when I say that this book is easy to read and friendly to stackers and those new to bullion, I'm not trying to play up this book. I mean, everything from the types of bullion and ETFs and mutual funds are covered in this book. In this version, there are 5 scenarios instead of 4. And this edition scenarios have a bigger return on investment spread all the way from -8%, which is a loss, up to 93%. The scenarios range from a simple strategy for new stackers, a more advanced strategy, those who like to invest in a lump sum, a strategy just for silver stackers, and even for those who rather hold ETFs. I feel like all of us would find a scenario that best fits our investment strategy. But now what I believe is going to be the most interest will be scenario D, which is specific for current stackers who want to convert themselves from stackers to ratio traders. For each scenario, Karl has included a worksheet, and let me show you what that looks like. Here it is in the book. This is rather small, but you can print out a worksheet for every scenario on Karl's website, and this is what they look like, and also a blank worksheet. And my takeaway from this is a change in the mindset of the tracking of your purchases. You are adding a few extra steps to help you determine the best and optimal time to trade out your silver for gold. The book is written in a very concise manner. It takes what I consider to be a very intimidating topic and breaks it down, describes all the steps, and it even gives you scenarios of things that will affect your strategy, like a nuclear war with Korea, or even how the upcoming election cycle might affect your strategy. I find this book to be a really good read, not only for just silver stackers, but also those who are new or anyone who is curious about how they can trade up their silver to gold. But I want to thank all of you for watching. I especially want to thank Karl for the opportunity to contribute to this book. I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will talk to you later.